Chamber of Commerce. My name is Olivia Stone, and I am here with Pastor Matt Gutierrez of Discover Church right here in Castroville. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So can you tell us a little more about Discover Church?
Absolutely. So we launched Discover Church in September of 2020. We used to be a campus of Westover Hills Assembly of God Church in San Antonio. At that time, the church was doing really well, and so the lead pastor did something that was incredible for this community, and he released us to just be a sovereign church. And so since then, we renamed the church Discover Church and have been going since mid-pandemic, really. But it's been a great transition for us.
And what is the main preaching philosophy?
Main preaching philosophy, we're going to preach the Bible. I mean, I'm going to take scripture. I like to give everybody the context of the passage. So you're going to get an entire passage, and then we're going to break down what that passage means to us today. We're going to get the research of what it meant for then, there, what it's written for, and then apply it to the here and now for us as believers today, and how we can utilize God's word to guide our life in an everyday scenario. So that's pretty much how we'll take scripture and begin to unpack every single weekend in our messages.
And so when do you have church services?
We have 3 services that we offer here at Discover Church. Our first service is at 9 a.m. We have an 11 a.m., and this is all on Sunday. We also have a 1:30 Spanish service that we offer as well.
And do you have children and youth ministries?
We do. All of our services have children and have children's service. So we have everything from infants. We have a nursery, preschool and toddler rooms, as well as our elementary room. Our kids have a blast in where they're at. Each room is designed for them in mind. All the messages are designed for them in mind. And the cool part is that they stay all the way through. They stay in the same message. So that way, if your kid is 3 years old all the way up and you've got a 4th grader, you're going to have the same conversation but geared towards them specifically. Our kids pastor, Pastor Jeremy Barnes, does an incredible job with that. And then on the 2nd and 4th Sunday of every month at 5 o'clock, we have our student ministry service. And that's middle school and high school students. Our student pastor's name is Max Mendiola, and he does an incredible job with our students. They play games. They come in here. They do worship. We have an awesome teenager band that they really do a great job. And so they lead worship, and then Pastor Max will speak. But they do great events for the teenagers. They're going to camp this summer, and so it's a lot of fun.
Will you share with our listeners the mission and vision of the church?
Our mission is that people just discover God first. That is the gateway for your life. And although we know that storms still come, we know that with God on our side that we can walk through any challenge that's presented to us. And so we want people to discover God. We want them to find community as well. So we would say discover God, discover community. And so we do that through life groups here. We do that through discipleship groups. We also do that through just connecting events and trying to get people to hang out with one another so you feel like you have a place to belong. And then lastly, discovering your purpose. And a lot of what we do here is getting people where they're serving in ministry, where they're helping out, whether it's with cameras, lights, playing in our band, being an usher, a greeter, helping out in kids or student ministry. We want people to find their purpose in a way that is maybe outside of their vocation, but in a way that they feel like they're making an impact. Another big change for us as a church is to be more outreach driven. So last year, Palm Sunday, we didn't have service. We've actually done it 2 years now. We didn't have service on campus, but instead, a great majority of our church met all over the Castroville area, and we just served the community. We picked up trash. Some people raked leaves in people's lawns. We went by the park and cleaned up the park. We've stained park benches there and fixed those as well. And so we really want to show the community that we're here for them, and it's all in that idea of discovering God, the community, and your purpose.
Well, thank you for sharing that. So what can one expect when coming to a Sunday service?
Absolutely. So you're going to get a friendly face out in our parking lot. Parking lot team and First Impressions team does a great job. They'll help you all the way inside. Once you get inside, we'll start the service right on time. We don't start service late, so we'll have about a 5-minute countdown that'll begin 5 minutes before service. Then our worship team will take over. We have an incredible worship band. Pastor Nate Garza is our worship pastor, and he does a phenomenal job. And so we'll normally do anywhere between 3-4 songs, somewhere in there. And then right after that, we'll transition the service into the preaching moment. We'll do announcements, things like that, events that we have coming up. And then I'll come up and preach. Our services are 70 minutes long. And within that 70 minutes, you're going to have worship, the music time, you're going to have a message, and then we'll have some kind of response. We believe here that God's word requires a response, and that response could be you reflecting upon what was preached. It could be you calling somebody and saying, hey, you know what? I've been holding on to something that I shouldn't hold on to anymore, and I forgive you of that. It could be a response of, hey, I've got to get involved, and I want to start going to a life group. So whatever that response time is, and so normally we'll have somewhat of a song that kind of wraps up the service, and then we'll dismiss the service. So all in all, 70 minutes on Sunday morning, and it's an impactful, inspiring service.
So how easy is it to become a member?
Absolutely. So right now we are wrapping up a class called Discover Connect. So prior to this, we do a business meeting, and if you came to our business meeting, we would sign you up for membership. Discover Connect's going to take it a little bit further, and we're beginning Discover Connect this next month on the third Sunday of every month from here on out. And what it's going to do is give you the history of the church. It's going to get you ways that you can get involved in the church and membership as well, and what it means to be a member here at Discover Church. There's as far as the church goes, our denomination, we're affiliated with Assemblies of God. That is our denomination. It's a fellowship of churches. And what that means is we're a non-denominational church, but our pastors are accountable to the Assemblies of God. Most of them are credentialed through the Assemblies of God. And so there's resources there that come with that. And so with that, we'll unpack the beliefs and the fundamental truths, if you will, of the Assemblies of God and what that means. And then it's really up to you and your family to decide, hey, is this a church that we want to be part of? And at that point, then we'll sign you up for membership.
Okay, so if one wanted to learn more, how would they go about doing that?
Absolutely. So you can go onto our website, mydiscover.church, or you can go on any of our social media platforms. We have Facebook and Instagram, and that's Discover Church SA. If you look those up, you're going to find lots of information. That's where we're going to put announcements. That's where we're going to put recaps to our services, things like that. But those are the best ways to get just information about what's going on. And then, of course, showing up here, and we'll get you up to speed pretty quickly.
Okay, and so you mentioned groups. Does
Yes.
that mean that you have events outside of church service?
Absolutely. We do have a church app. It's called Church Center. If you go to your app store, whether it's Google Play or Apple, you can download Church Center, and you'll be able to find Discover Church if you search for it. And once you do, you'll be able to see our events, things that are going on. We have groups that are in homes. We have some groups that meet here. And then we have events. Our young adults just went to Enchanted Rock and went hiking. And so we try to mix it up between things that are on campus and things that are outside in the community.
Is there anything else you would like to add that we didn't cover before we close?
We would love to just see you here at the church. Again, 9, 11, and 1:30, depending on what service and what time you wake up on Sunday. We'd love to see you, and we'd love to connect with you, and we're here for you in any way that we possibly can.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.